All right, everyone, get ready, because today we're going deep into the world of AI agents.
hmm
Um, but not just any AI agents. We're talking about vertical AI agents. These are the big leagues, not your average chatbot. These are specialized agents that are made for complex tasks in specific fields, like think healthcare or logistics.
Exactly. Like, just imagine an AI that's not only able to diagnose diseases, but can even go as far as suggesting personalized treatment plans. Or what about optimizing entire supply chains and all in real time? That's what vertical AI agents are all about.
Okay, yeah, that sounds pretty impressive, but how do they actually do all that?
Yeah.
I mean, what's the secret ingredient that makes these AI agents so much more advanced, so much smarter
Yeah.
than just your regular chatbot?
Well, the key here is something we call ontology. It's kind of like you can think of it as a blueprint for knowledge,
Oh,
like a structured framework that helps AI agents understand all the relationships between different concepts and entities in their domain.
so it's not just about just feeding the AI a bunch of data. It's more about organizing that data in a way that actually makes sense to the AI so it can grasp the meaning behind it all.
Exactly. It goes beyond just recognizing patterns. The AI can actually start to reason and make inferences pretty much like a human expert would. It's this deeper understanding that lets these agents handle those really complicated tasks and solve problems that would honestly leave even the most sophisticated algorithms scratching their heads.
Okay, I think I'm starting to see how this whole ontology thing could really change the game. But can you give me a concrete example? How does ontology actually make an AI agent better at problem solving in a specific domain? Let's say healthcare, for example.
Okay, sure. Let's say there's a vertical AI agent, and it's designed to help doctors diagnose a patient with a rare disease. Now, this agent has been trained on this huge data set of medical literature, patient records, even genetic information. But without ontology, it's still basically limited to pattern recognition. It might be able to pick out symptoms that match known diseases, but it can't really get a deep understanding of all the factors that lead to a specific diagnosis.
So it's like having all the puzzle pieces, but not knowing how to actually put them together.
Precisely. Now, let's add in a robust medical ontology to this AI agent. This ontology, it defines the relationships between all sorts of medical concepts, diseases, symptoms, you name it, and it gives us a framework for understanding how they're all connected. All of a sudden, that AI agent, it can see the bigger picture now, it can reason about the patient's symptoms, look at their genetic predispositions, and even consider the latest medical research. And what does this mean? A more accurate and detailed diagnosis.
Makes sense. It's almost like giving the AI a cheat sheet to help it connect the dots and see those patterns that even the most experienced human doctors might miss.
Exactly. And it goes beyond just diagnosis, too. Ontology allows the AI agent to help with treatment planning. It can factor in things like potential drug interactions, patient preferences, even cost effectiveness. It can even go as far as helping researchers identify new treatment targets by analyzing huge amounts of data and finding those hidden relationships that would be impossible for us humans to spot.
Okay, so we've seen how ontology can really power up those AI agents in healthcare, but I'm curious about how it works in other fields. Like, what about logistics?
Oh, logistics is a great example. Think about how complicated it is to manage a global supply chain,
Yeah.
right? You've got thousands of moving parts, things are constantly changing, and there are tons of decisions that need to be made, like right now in real time. And that's where these vertical AI agents, when they have ontologies, that's where they really shine.
Okay, I'm all ears. How would ontology help an AI agent get better at, actually optimizing a supply chain?
So picture this. You've got this AI agent. It doesn't just know where goods are and what the delivery routes are. It understands those relationships between suppliers, manufacturers, the distributors, even the customers. And with this comprehensive logistics ontology, this AI agent, it can look at real-time data and not just, simple stuff. We're talking weather patterns, traffic conditions, even geopolitical events and economic trends.
So it's not just about finding the fastest way to get from point A to point B.
Yeah.
It's about understanding the whole system, the whole ecosystem, and making smart decisions using way more information.
Exactly. This AI agent can see potential problems before they even happen. It can find different routes, find other suppliers, it can even change delivery schedules, and all this to make things more efficient and save money. It's like having like a chess grandmaster running your entire supply chain, always thinking 5 steps ahead.
That's wild. So it sounds like ontology lets these AI agents go beyond just doing simple tasks. It lets them do strategic planning and real problem solving.
Exactly. And this is really just the beginning. As those ontologies get more and more advanced and the AI agents get better at using them, we're going to see even bigger changes in all kinds of industries.
Okay, so we've talked about healthcare and logistics, but what about other fields? Are there any limits to what these AI agents can do when they have the power of ontology?
That's a really good question. The potential is huge, definitely. But we have to admit the success of these ontology-driven AIs, it really depends on a few things. First, we need really good, specific ontologies, ones that really capture the complexities of the real world.
So like they say, garbage in, garbage out. If the ontology is messed up or incomplete, the AI agent won't be able to think properly, right?
Exactly. That ontology, it's got to be top-notch. Second, we need AI agents that are able to not only access and understand the ontology knowledge, they need to use it to reason, to learn, and to adapt when things change.
So it's not enough to just like give the AI a textbook, right?
Yeah.
It has to know how to use that knowledge in a world that's always changing.
Precisely. And one last thing, we have to think about the ethics. Can we really trust these AI agents to make complex decisions? Even with the best ontologies and the smartest algorithms, there will always be challenges like bias, transparency, and accountability.
Yeah, that's a really important point. The more responsibility we give to these AI agents, the more we need to make sure they're working in a way that lines up with our values and is really helping humanity. But even with all those challenges, it seems like we can't ignore how beneficial this ontology-driven AI can be.
I completely agree. We're still in the early stages of this whole thing, but the progress we've made so far is super promising. As we make those ontologies better, develop more advanced AI agents, and deal with the ethical stuff, we can really create a future where AI makes our lives better in so many ways.
Okay, so we've seen that ontology is key for making really intelligent AI agents that could solve real problems.
Yeah.
But let's get down to brass tacks for a second.
Hmm.
How do we actually build these ontologies? It can't be as easy as just drawing a diagram, right?
You're right. It's a pretty complicated process. You need expertise in both the specific field and in ontology engineering. Traditionally, ontologies were built manually by knowledge engineers. They would define all the concepts, relationships, and rules based on their understanding of the domain.
So it was a super long and tedious process.
It was, and it still is to some degree. But recent developments in natural language processing and machine learning, those are helping to automate some parts of the process, which makes things faster and more efficient.
So it's like using AI to help us build better AI. Are we getting close to a point where AI can not only use ontologies, but actually help build and improve them? What does that mean for the future of AI development?
That's a great question, and it's one that researchers are really focused on right now. Just imagine AI agents that can analyze tons of data, identify patterns and connections, and even suggest new concepts or links to make existing ontologies even better. This could really speed up the development of strong, comprehensive ontologies, and that would allow us to use AI to solve even more complicated problems.
Wow, that's really interesting. But as we move towards this future where AI is helping build ontologies, we can't forget about the potential risks and challenges. How do we make sure that these AI-generated ontologies are accurate and unbiased and that they align with human values?
That's a crucial point, and it's something we need to think about carefully. We've got to develop strong ways to make sure that those AI-generated ontologies are good, that they don't have errors or biases or unintended consequences. That means human oversight, rigorous testing, and constantly monitoring to make sure that these ontologies are evolving in a way that benefits all of society.
So it seems like we're really changing how we develop ontologies. But even with AI helping us, it's still going to take a lot of smarts and resources to build and keep up with these ontologies, right?
Oh, absolutely. Ontology engineering, it's a whole field of its own, and we really need to put effort into training and education. We need a workforce that can handle these complex tasks. It's not just about technical skills, though. Yeah, you need to know about logic, knowledge representation, data modeling, all that. But you also need to deeply understand the area the ontology is supposed to represent, like medicine, finance, whatever it is.
So we need people who can speak both the language of AI and the language of the specific field they're working in.
You got it. And it goes
Yeah.
beyond just one person's expertise, too. We've got to build a culture where people in the AI community work together and share knowledge. We need to develop standard ways of making ontologies, create platforms to share and reuse them, and just encourage researchers and practitioners to communicate and collaborate more openly.
It sounds like this whole ontology-driven AI revolution, it doesn't just depend on tech getting better. It also depends on us building a solid foundation of human expertise, collaboration, and being aware of the ethical side of things.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Like any really powerful technology, AI can be a force for good, but it can also shake things up. If we concentrate on developing those really strong ontologies and make sure we're developing AI responsibly and ethically, then we can use its power to make our lives better and tackle some of the biggest problems facing the world.
This deep dive has really been an eye-opener for me. I've learned so much about how important ontologies are and how they're going to shape the future of AI. Thanks for being here and sharing your expertise.
The pleasure was all mine. I hope our chat today has made you want to learn even more about this really exciting and constantly evolving field.
And to everyone listening, we really encourage you to check out those resources we mentioned and to keep thinking about the future of AI. Until next time, keep learning, keep exploring, and keep those questions coming.